So last night, DC Studios, Warner Bros. Discovery had a special screening for the Superman movie. I never understand why they title these events with such ambiguous titles, because allegedly it was the first time an audience, and I'll say audience loosely, got to see the movie. So certain people were invited to this event. It was a select event for select people, people that work in the cinema trade, people that work for major trades, and TikTok. I don't understand why studios have this mindset that inviting TikTokers, although you do have to sign an NDA and non-disclosure, inviting TikTokers to watch a movie early to promote the movie, new gen media TikTok, it's not the one and it doesn't translate to ticket sales, but it is what it is. So the reactions that are coming out are very interesting. And obviously they're under non-disclosure agreement. The movie comes out, I believe, the 11th of July. Most people will see this movie around the 6th, 7th, 8th. But it is interesting, the feedbacks from said event. So you know me, I'm very hyped for this movie, huge Superman fan. But y'all don't seem to think that's the case. So we've had confirmation that the leaks were 100% true. And a lot of the context and information that people were trying to say was fake news. This movie was allegedly supposed to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's only 2 hours and 10. What's happened this 20 minutes? It's also worth saying that, yes, they may not be showing the Warner Bros. Discovery in front of the movie, but it is a Warner Bros. Discovery movie. They are the distributor. Warner Bros. Is the distributor, whereas DC Studios is the studio. They're not distributing it. So it's still a Warner Bros. Movie at the end of the day. So apparently this corny-ass jokes, this Guardians of the Galaxy vibe has tried to be removed from said movie. So Viewer Anon, who is more credible than pretty much all the scoopers, he's got a really good track record, says this: just got confirmation my favorite joke is definitely 100% cut from the movie. I'll post a joke once the movie's out. Context involves a spoiler, so I don't want to spill early. Okay, careful for spoilers! This whole super... I'm going to blurp that anyway. It's a super shiz. You know, when Superman's getting trolled for being super, basically. Yeah, they've removed that joke. It was a bit nonsensical. Then Viewer Anon went on to answer some questions about the tone, which was interesting. And this was the joke that's been going around the internet for a long time. Ever that people said was fake news. Thus, for by basic logic, if that's true, then the rest of it got to be true. So the tone of the movie, of the final cut, Superman 2 on steroids. Did you like Superman 2? If you didn't like Superman 2, then it's fair to say it is what it is. It's always interesting when these reactions come out. So yeah, they're all under embargo, so no one's really going to come out publicly and say stuff officially. So someone else added something here. I'd also describe the final film as a live-action episode of Superman the Animated Series. It's interesting because this movie was allegedly shot as episodic. Apparently, a bunch of episodes make up the movie. So to say a live-action episode of Superman the Animated Series, interesting. It's very Silver Age. It's got a lot of sci-fi trope. It's a big spectacle, drama, and laugh, but more importantly, it's big in its heart. It's a very earnest film. Interesting comments. So there's also some other comments here. A friend saw James Gunn's Superman today. He said it's 180 degrees away from Zack Snyder's version. Why would you say that in your reaction? That just makes me think this is fake, but we'll spin with it because it got a bit of engagement. He told me a lot of things, probably too much. He said the trailers have been a bit of a misdirection. Not really. It hasn't at all. But the most important thing was he really liked it. Interesting. I hear Superman is good. Thank you, Daniela. Any other comments? You hear the movie is good. Some other reactions. James Gunn's first DC movie, unique and damn beautiful. Interesting comments. Like I've said, there's not too much that's come out. But the main thing that's come out is from Viewer Anon saying, yo, they've taken the biggest joke out of the movie, which tells us all the information about David Zaslav and the Warner Bros. Discovery's execs getting scared because the tone was too similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot has been removed because, like I said, this movie was supposed to be 2 hours 30, but it's only 2:10. So where have they got rid of 2 hours? Another feedback here, attended an exhibition, screening, and signed an NDA, so I can't say much. Lad, if you sign an NDA, you shouldn't even be saying you've watched the movie. You've broken NDA, lad, for even saying you've watched it. God damn, why do they let these unprofessional people in? All I can say is finally someone got Superman right. Okay. So it's also worth saying, when these actual real reactions do release and the embargo do release, it's worth saying that from an influencer kind of side, you're a Warner Bros. Partner. That means your opinion is going to be biased. Although you may have not been financially paid, if you're getting flown all over the country and you're getting invited to special events, what looks really good on optics on Instagram and on TikTok, and you can get major engagement and you can get potentially your quote on one of the trailers or a billboard that comes out just before the movie comes out, because the movie don't come out till July the 11th, so we are like 3 weeks away. As someone that has attended multiple DC, Warner Bros. DC movie events, Marvel events, I've attended a lot of events. I'm likely not to believe any of the first reactions unless it comes from a fan. But the problem is, when the reaction comes from a fan, it's even more over the top and maybe not untruthful. It's not like they're going to be untruthful. It's just like, if you're a fan of the franchise, being the Superman franchise, you want the movie to do well. So you will be a bit over the top because maybe you got invited to a red carpet event, or maybe they flew you to the other side of the world for some special kind of event. You're not really going to be earnest and honest. You're not really going to be so transparent about the movie. You just want the movie to do well, which I'm sure it will do well. Like I say, it does look good to me. It's a really good final trailer. The Fantastic Four final trailer does look better if you do compare said both movies. Now, James Gunn did speak apparently on the Supergirl movie. He said this: I didn't necessarily know that Supergirl would be the second movie we would make. Why have you stuck her in your movie then and put Supergirl's Crypto Dog in the movie? But Anna wrote an amazing script, and so we hired an amazing director, and we will make this movie after Superman. It's already been made because he was the best option. Other movies were written, but they weren't as good as this one. So let's continue with this rhythm. Everything has to be good. Quality comes first in every project we do. And this is more important than telling a great mega narrative. Now, I do appreciate what James Gunn's trying to say. And as I've always said, I did appreciate the Suicide Squad movie. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies were good. Peacemaker, not so much. They keep going on about quality of scripts. And I'm thinking, the quality of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies weren't that good. They were good, but they weren't that good. So the quality of Superman has to be top notch, or else people will not believe anything James Gunn says. The DCU needs a Batman, says Pete Safran. And allegedly, I'm not saying this is from information that I may or may not know. Allegedly, there's something to do with Batman in this movie. The DCU needs a Batman, says Pete Safran. I think we were very clear about Batman. We love Matt Reeves. We're crazy to do Batman Part 2. Freaking do it. And James Gunn getting mad at people. It's been 5 years since Part 1. 5 freaking years. And James Gunn's getting triggered by fans getting annoyed because Matt Reeves taking so long. I don't know. As I said, we will always do some project that are mainly guided by authors. Those are projects we call Elseworld. Obviously, we need a Batman in the DCU. Ellen Richardson, make it happen, lads. Jack Reacher, make it happen. And then we are developing ours too. If Matt's movie is under our tent and is part of DC, we're going to do Batman Part 2, we hope. And when Matt is ready for it, when he delivers the script, and then we will also make our story of Batman and Robin, the brave and the bold. Interesting. But James Gunn getting triggered because fans are getting annoyed because it's been 5 years is absolutely ridiculous. It really is. 5 years between one movie and another movie. The freaking hell. Robin Pattinson's supposed to be a young Batman. He's going to be a 40-year-old Batman by the time it comes out. It is interesting, though. And I do find it interesting when David, the actor, comes out and says stuff. I really find it interesting. Him speaking on previous versions of Superman. I've probably seen bits of each iteration of Superman on screen, but I haven't watched every minute. I would say that makes it easier. It is much more like continuing the tradition and carrying a torch for a brief period. Dude comes out and says he's a Superman fan, but then it's like, yo, I actually haven't watched all the Superman movies. I do find it interesting. And people do read far too much into what actors say. So the movie has an official runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes. 2 hours 30 would have been better, because although it is a Superman movie, we have literally the Justice Gang in this movie, which still, to me, seems like fluff characters, filler characters. Why are they there? We don't really need them there. Yes, I get it on the prerequisite of this movie and the story he's trying to tell. And it does pretty much confirm that the plot leaks over a year ago were old, and most people saying, yo, the plot leaks were fake. But I mean, they've taken the biggest joke out of the movie. They've changed the tone to make it less funny, to change the narrative. Jameson says there's going to be no WB intro attached to Superman. Yes, but they're still the distributor. It's a DC Studio film, but they are distributing it. Like Godzilla X Kong is a legendary film, but they distribute it. Like the Dune franchise is a legendary movie, but they distribute it. We get it. But the difference between the legendary movies are Warner Bros. Discovery owns DC Studios, and their boss is David Zaslav, right? So it's a little bit of a different story. So showing it to influencers, TikTokers, I understand press and people that work in the cinema world and major trades getting to see it because they're actually behind releasing the movies in certain theater chains and so on and so forth. But letting Instagrammers and TikTokers watch it this early, it's a bit of a weird take. But then James Gunn's like, yo, there are no spoilers. So it's like, to me, make your mind up. Put an NDA on it, but there's no spoilers. Why have you NDA'd this movie if there are no spoilers? I don't get it. Lad's like, yeah, there's no spoilers. Watching it and reading about it online is different. But okay, so why have you NDA'd it? I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think the movie's going to be very good. In fact, I have been told it's pretty good, but I've also been told the leaks are basically bang on. Not all leaks, mostly the leaks are true, but some have been taken out, which again confirms they're true because they've been taken out. But apparently nothing's been cut from this movie because James Gunn has 100% autonomy. I don't think he has, but again, I'm excited for this movie, but I can be critical. I can criticize what I'm told. I've not watched it, but I can still critique and give my opinion on what I've been told. I'm not a chill. I would never not give it a honest opinion, unlike other influencers who are like Warner Bros. Partners. You're just jealous because you're not a Warner Bros. Partner. Not at all. I'd work with Warner Bros., but I would not be a Warner Bros. Partner. And if I did, I'd have to give a massive disclaimer because I'd always give my honest opinion. The Flash is the greatest movie ever, said James Gunn. Okay, so is this movie better than The Flash? Who knows? It's got literally the same editors that worked on The Flash movie. And we know how that went. Yeah, I can be negative, I can be positive, and I can still look forward to a movie. You don't have to be amply clear about one way or the other. It's like I can like Henry Cavill's version and think David Cornsweet's also going to be a pretty cool Superman because he looks like Superman. Let's just hope he actually can deliver that Superman punch. And I also like Taylor Hoechlin's version of Superman in Superman and Lois. But y'all think I'm a Snyderverse fan. No, I appreciate it at the time. But I actually think Taylor Hoechlin is potentially... I've only seen up to season 2. I potentially think he could be the best Superman. But it's a bit unfair because having a TV series with multiple episodes, multiple seasons compared to 3 or 4 appearances in movies here or there isn't really the same thing. So like always, guys, let us know everything you think down below. And if you want me to go over everything I've really heard in terms of spoiler territory, let me know and we can do that later this week. Because I've heard from one person, but you know, stories are always conflicting, even though I've seen proof. They're literally posted they were at the event. I literally can see it with my own eyes. And what they're telling me is interesting. But this is not a spoiler video. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another big ass video. Catch you. Oh, God, that's exhausting. Hashtag Team Warstu if you made it this far. Anyway, guys, catch you later.